Hi, I'm Gracie X, and I wrote a blog called The Polyamorous Handbook for Monogamous People. It had a few tips, and my husband thought of this whole idea, and it kind of goes along with a lot of articles that have been written lately in the media about, what are poly people doing? How can they have multiple relationships? What are people doing who have open marriages? How can they do that? What are they doing? And so some of the tips were investing in your relationship, having the same values, having really good communication skills. I'm going to talk about in this video my favorite, which is keep having sex. And there have been, again, this is you can look on my website to get the actual studies, but there's been research done. This research was done out of the University of Chicago, and it found that men and women who were sexually inactive or engaged in very little sexual activity reported lower levels of marital satisfaction, whereas couples who had more frequent sexual encounters, and this includes any sexual act, not just intercourse, don't define sex the Bill Clinton way, had happier, more positive marriages. So one could argue, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? People who are getting along, have more sex, their marriages are working. My husband says, and I think this is a really brilliant point, is that even, when you're polarized, if you can bridge that gap and start touching and start coming back together, it does create more closeness and more positive feelings. So it can be a way to create more closeness. This is another research that was done. I love this one. You've got to hear this one. This is from an article in Live Science and Happy Marriage Tips. And according to research, if you tend to be a bit neurotic, that caught my attention, but have regular sex with your spouse, check this out. Your spouse doesn't notice or mind your neuroses. So that, I was like, wow, this is why my marriage is working really well. But I think that is also kind of fascinating, this whole idea that if you're still giving each other pleasure, you can tolerate the rough edges a little bit, maybe. Something to think about. This one I love. I put this in my blog. This frequency, sex frequency, why you should have sex more often, by Sherry Streitoff. Again, you can find this link on my blog, graciex.com. So here are some of the reasons, here are some of the benefits. It boosts your self-esteem. It makes you feel younger. It firms your tummy and buttocks. Now, I wish that were true. I don't know if I believe that. If that were true, I would have the tightest ass in the world. As it is, my ass is pretty good, but, I wish that were true. Gives people a positive attitude on life. I think that is true. Improves fitness level again. I don't know about this. I'm a personal trainer. Maybe. Makes a person less irritable. I think that is really true. I am so less grumpy when I'm getting laid. I think it makes me a better mom. I'm going to do a blog about that. Reduces depression. The hormones, the rush of oxytocin, I believe that. It helps your immune system. It relieves stress. It helps you sleep better. We all know men who just right after sex, they're done. So I think that we can all agree, maybe not all of us, but most of us agree that sex in a long-term relationship, in a marriage is helpful and is a good tip. and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Namaste.